Hey guys, how's it going? In this video, we're going to cover Entra Private Access. This is a really cool tool. So it's secure service edge, similar to what Zscaler and other similar tools can do. But this is with the Microsoft. It ties in really well with our conditional access policy and MFA, so it's really cool. To get started, you need to download this connector service. You come in here, you hit download, accept the terms, and the download begins. Once the download's done, you come in here and you can install it on a server. So I downloaded that tool here. It says Microsoft Entra Private Network Connector. I installed it and I added it to this group. So whenever you have a new connector, you can create a group, and what the group does is gives your application proxy agents some sort of redundancy. So you can come in here and you can drop it into the group if you would like to do that. And so that's really it. So you can keep it separate, you can keep it all together, you can have multiple groups. Depending on what you're trying to achieve, you can do whatever you want. So here is pretty cool. So now let's go ahead and create the actual application and do some remote access. So all right, so we go into Entra Private Access here. I come in here, I will go to Enterprise Applications. Let's create a new application. Here, I'll call this Private Access -02. Do that, an application segment here. I'll give it an IP address. Let's do an IP address for this machine here. Let's start this machine. I'm going to pause the video while we wait for this machine to boot up. All right, here the machine is ready. Let's log into this machine. Here. All right, let's check the IP address of this machine. Let's see, 141. Let's make sure remote desktop is also set up on this machine. Remote desktop settings. It's on. Okay. Admin has access. All right, perfect. So we can try remoting into this machine 192.168.1.141. So I have a machine here. So this machine is a machine that already has the agent installed. So no, sorry, this is the wrong machine. Let me go to the machine that has this is the one that has the agent installed on it. So here I have clicked on the wrong thing. So I already installed this client. I'll show you where you can get the client. You can download the client directly from the Microsoft Entra space there. So let me just show you what this looks like here. And so this is that client. So it's connected, and I'm gonna remote desktop connection 192.168.1.141, and it won't work because I've not configured it. It's the first time I'm using it here, right? But I can show you that this setup is working for other machines. So give it a second, and then you'll see it'll come in and it'll ask me for credentials. Okay, so now let's configure 141. Okay, so let's go and configure Entra Private Access for 141. Okay, so I'll come in here and let's go back to create application. O2, add application. I'll use the IP address. And here you can see you have multiple choices you can use. IP to IP is if you don't want to use a whole subnet range, or you don't know the range and it's like 192.168.1.15 all the way through 1.20, and you can do that. So I'm going to give this here. So 192.168.1.141. Okay, ports 3389, and then hit apply. So what I'm doing now, I'm creating an enterprise application. Within this enterprise application, I can add multiple remote desktop machines on different ports. I can use multiple ports here. I don't have to only limit myself to 3389. So if you were trying to use a thick client or an application or with something that has multiple ports, you could do that. I'm going to choose the connector group. The connector group that I want to use is connector group 01, and I have two proxies in there, and I hit save, and that's pretty much it. Now we'll have to go into the application itself once it's actually saved, so that'll take a couple of seconds. Once it's saved, we go into the application, we add the users we want, and we create a conditional access policy. Well, once we do that, we can test it and see. So the way what we want to happen is, if you look here and we go into this global secure access and go to advanced diagnostics, you'll see all the machines that I have access to with my forwarding profile. If I go to private access rules, you'll see all the machines that I have access to. So I don't see 141 right now. So once I add 141, I create an enterprise application, I add 141, we should see it here, and then we should be able to access it. So over here, let's go to enterprise applications. Let's go to enterprise private access 02, users and groups. Let's add a user. Let's add Alex Wilbur. Keep it simple. Let's add one user, and then let's create a conditional access policy. Let's create a new policy, and we'll call this private access 02. Two users and groups. Again, so the conditional access policy is separate from the assigned user group, because now this is aligned with the conditional access policy. The first part will be the conditional access policy. The next part will be the assigned users that is tested. You see the application was automatically added because I created the conditional access policy from within the enterprise application. I look at conditions. I can leave all this blank. I have to choose one of these, something to be turned on here. I'm going to say require multi-factor authentication. Hit select, turn the conditional policy back to on, and then create. Now, when I do this, once this is created, what we want to see here is 141 added here, right? So let me close this. Let's go back in here. Look here, advanced diagnostics. Let's give that a second. Usually it's not very fast, but it doesn't come almost immediately. So let's give this a couple of minutes. And if you want to really force this, maybe let's try shutting this profile down here. So let's restart it. How's that? So actually, let's log in as a different user, so you can actually see the different profiles that are imported with a different user. So let's try that. There it is. Give it a second. Use another account. Let's try logging in as Adele. All right. Adele is what we want to log in as. It usually asks a couple of times because it's doing the multiple checks. It's actually checking enter ID. It's checking multiple different conditional access policies. I've usually seen it ask me 3 times, and then that's pretty much all it does. Once it's done that, then you're good. It doesn't keep doing that. It's usually when you first set it up, it'll ask you that, and then it's good. So there 3 times. Charm. Let's come in here, advanced diagnostics. Let's look at forwarding profile, and let's look at private access rules, and we'll see here. So no 141. Okay. Let's see. Let's log in as Alex. Okay, and then let's restart this to make sure we get everything come up really quickly. I don't think the changing of logging in as a different user actually forced a change. Let's restart it. Let's see if that does anything. Okay, so it's just pulling in all the different things. So that's good. Let's check. It pulled in 141 for us. There it is. So 141 is in now. So now we can try it. Let's do 141. Hit connect. So now it should ask us for the local credentials of that machine. So I'll come in here, type in admin 4, and I'll hit OK. And then it's giving me the certificate thing, and boom, I've got access. And so this is coming in remotely from another machine, and I think it's pretty cool because, again, no need for VPN or any of those things. So now let's try this with a different user, right? So we tried with Alex. Let's try this with Adele. Okay. So this is where that conditional access policy comes into play. So let's log in as a different user. There it is. Let's choose Adele. Okay. Come on. It's the third time. We should be good now. Okay. So now let's try the same thing. Let's RDP, same IP address, different user. There's Adele. Yes. And you'll see here I'm getting a failure for Adele. And Adele is even actually a global admin. So it doesn't matter. It's basically, it's checking that conditional access policy. It's checking the users assigned. And based on that, users are given or not given access to different resources. So Entra Private Access, we can also, because of Entra Private Access, has the ability to do website protection as well. You can also do things like protect it from things like you can block certain websites. So I can go to nba.com and you'll see it's blocked by Microsoft Entra Private Access policies defined by your admin. So you can also prevent access to certain sites, and that's also a cool thing here. So I can go to like LinkedIn. I can do a search for LinkedIn. As you can see, I have internet. It knows who I am. I can come in here, go to LinkedIn, and it'll be like can't reach there because it's not going directly. It's actually going there. But if I go directly to a website, I get that error message. If I go through a Google search, it gives me this block message here. But other than that, that's all I had for internet private access. A lot of these settings can be done through here, through the private access portal. One thing you have to remember when you're setting up internet protection access is when you have to create a profile, and then within that profile, you can add different you can link policies. You link policies, so you can add different policies, and different policies can be to the block website. So let's go in here. Well, you can see here, so I have policy 1, and here I have block FQDN. Okay, so let's go to look at those policies real quick. So I go to policy 1, and then we can look at the rules. Within policy 1, you get multiple rules. So I'm blocking categories like alcohol, entertainment, hacking, dating, and the websites. And then another policy I can have, let's go here, I can have block FQDNs, and then here I go to the rules, and I block LinkedIn and NBA. One more thing you'd have to do, once you create these profiles, you create the security profile. Then when you're creating a conditional access policy, so you go back up to protection, go to conditional access policies, you go to all your policies, and then here, if you look at any of your policies, when you create a policy, under sessions, there's a way to use a global security policy rule. And when you're doing that, when you're creating those, let's give this a policy. Let's just call this Alex Wilbur. We'll add some users. Okay, it's like users in group, users. Let's add Alan, select, and then target and resources here. I can choose cloud apps, and I can choose a global secure access preview. And then here I would do internet traffic and MS-35. The MS-365 traffic is to prevent access from your tenant if you're using a domain join machine, to prevent you from joining MS-365 tenants that are outside your domain. The internet traffic here, that's it. And then here, this will be lit up then. And you can use this global security policy, choose which policy you want, and that's it. So again, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you found this useful, and have a nice day.